All right, so the next topic to discuss is specific heat capacity. And specific heat capacity is the amount of energy it takes to increase the temperature of 1 gram of material by 1 degree Celsius or 1 Kelvin, right? Since it's a difference, since we're changing it, the Celsius and the Kelvin are interchangeable, right? So it's the amount of energy it takes to heat something up. Some compounds, it takes a lot of energy to heat it up. Some compounds, it takes a little bit of energy, right? To go from, maybe 10 to 20 degrees Celsius, some things will take a little bit of energy. Some things will take a lot of energy. Here's just a table just to give you some examples of specific heat capacity. Note that the units here are joules per gram degree Celsius. So how much energy, joules, it takes to heat up 1 gram by 1 degree Celsius. And again, this Celsius could be Kelvin. They're interchangeable in this case. And so what we can see is, for example, a lot of metals, silver, copper, iron, aluminum, they have very low specific heats. All of these are less than 1. And so metals are very easy to heat. They have a low heat capacity. And that makes sense, right? If you leave some piece of metal out in the sun, it's going to get hot really quick. And as soon as you touch that metal, it's really hot. But the ground next to it isn't as hot, right? And that's because metal has a low heat capacity. It's very easy for it to change in temperature. Something opposite of that is something like water, which we have down here. You can tell that it has a much higher heat capacity, over 4, right? So water has a high heat capacity. And living on, Southern California, this actually explains a lot of in terms of our climate. So for example, if you go out towards the coast, it's almost the same temperature there year round. The temperature doesn't change very much and it's always pretty cool. Whereas if you go more towards the Inland Empire, it gets pretty hot much faster, but they're both getting the same amount of sun. So what's the difference? Well, the air in the coastline has a lot of water in it. And so it takes a lot of energy to heat up all that water and thus the temperature that you feel. Whereas us in the kind of more inland empire, the air in our air does not have a lot of water in it. And so it's relatively easy to heat up. So that sun heats up our day a lot faster. So we'll just put right here why the coast is cool and the inland empire is hot. So a lot of cool applicable things here, a lot of things you can think about and, do some good thought experiments.